An embarrassing racism controversy in South Korea today, as this ad clearly depicting a Korean child telling a supposedly another Korean child who is much darker in nature to go back to Africa, asking if they're African. This is crazier considering that this ad was for a supplement for kids to take to become lighter. You've heard that right. A supplement in Korea that is sold to make their skin lighter. This is in allusion or in reference to the fact that in Korea, being lighter is better. In East Asia specifically, being light is associated with being wealthy, being better looking, being fair skinned. Obviously, this ad was quickly taken down after a outlash by the public saying, how can you do this in such a modern globalized state? What are your thoughts? I have clear thoughts on this. Obviously, Korea being a single race country, this ad wasn't in consideration of African Americans or Africans. It was more so in target or feeding off the insecurity of the darker skinned Koreans.
Thank you, Miss Esther, for asking this question. Yes, there is racism here in South Korea. There's even the stratification amongst foreigners according to your skin color. And the racism here in South Korea is especially harsh towards brown people and black people. I have no idea what they did to Koreans to deserve such treatments. I really don't know why, but that's the reality here. Now, what about lighter colored people? Are they exempt from the racial discrimination in their everyday living? No. They are still the victims of racism to a lesser degree. It's not as harsh as the racism towards dark colored people, but they suffer a lot even if their skin color is a little lighter. Racism becomes very obvious and becomes on the surface when you try to fit in, when you try to find your niche here, when you try to get settled, when you try to mingle with the locals here. When you are a traveler, you're good to go because you're spending money here. But when you try to become a part of Korea, that's when the racism becomes very obvious to everyone's eyes. So hopefully this is informative, but I've mentioned quite a few times how you deal with this. You want to respect your choice regardless of how others treat you, regardless how others think about you. So in the long run, if you can deal with it in a very healthy manner, it won't be much of an issue. It's still going to be a little cumbersome, but still you can deal with it, and you can become comfortable with such racism. If you get used to it, if you can live with it, if you can live comfortably despite the ignorance and the low conscious behavior from the locals. And I believe as the population is just plummeting, especially the Korean ethnicity is disappearing, I believe South Korea is soon to be a very diverse society, way more diverse than it is currently. So the prospect is very bright. Okay, thank you for listening. I'll come back to you guys with more of life in Korea.
We have two categories of Koreans who discriminate black people. And I'm going to start with the first category. Yeah? We have Koreans who discriminate black people because of the fear of unknown. Yeah? Some of them go the entire life without seeing a black person. So when they meet a black person for the first time, some fear, some become curious. Yeah, some they just fear, they don't want even to go close to a black person because they've never seen someone black. Yeah, and I feel like this is lack of information, because now we have schools. They should be taught about different races in the world. Yeah, we have different races. They should be informed, instead of you seeing a stranger and you start thinking that this person is a monkey because that is what we are called. Yeah, so that category, they need to be informed. They should start with kids who are still in schools. The second category, these are just haters. They just hate black people for no reason. Yeah, if they're told to give reasons why they hate black people, they start creating up stories that don't even make sense. Yeah, Africa has been ridiculed for years now, and I always wonder, why would you just hate African people? Why would you just hate Africa for no apparent reason? If you're told to give reasons, you have none. Yeah, is it because Africans, we have a soft heart that we don't like retaliating towards our enemies? Because if we were to retaliate against people who discriminate us, it wouldn't end well. Some of these people feel like we don't have principles. They feel like we don't have a class, we are not mannered. But whenever their kids are being disobedient, they bring their kids in Africa to teach them lessons. Yeah, they bring them here to learn. We are examples to their kids, but still they will hate on us. They think that we don't have a class. Then why bring your kids here to teach them a lesson? Why not teach them wherever that you are? I read somewhere a black guy who went to study in Korea. He was saying how cabs don't pick black people at night. Yeah, unless you have a business card, that is when you can be lucky enough to be picked. You call that cab driver for him or for her to come and pick you. But if you don't, you will be stranded the whole night in the streets. Yeah, they think that every black person is a criminal. Yeah, whenever they see you, they just see someone who came to cause chaos. Yeah, this is just stupid mentality that people need to be informed. They should inform these people that not every black person is a criminal. Not every black person. We have white people who are criminals, but just because our skin color is different, we are seen like we are the ones who are evil. We are branded a lot of things, and it's just sad. They need to be informed, and like I said earlier, they need to start informing these people from school. There's a lady who said that her first day in class in Korea, her lecturer used N-word against her. Yeah, he came to her and asked her if she had showered or if she was dirty or she was just black like that. It's pure ignorance. Does it mean that anyone who is dark-skinned is dirty? You are a lecturer, meaning you went to school from whichever grade you went to up to until campus. You still don't know there's a black person who exists somewhere for you to go and ask her if she's showered or not, if she's dirty or not. You discriminate against people from Africa. You forget that Africa is the cradle of mankind. If we didn't exist, you wouldn't exist. Majority of these students who went to study in Korea have had it tough. Some of them are being beaten. Yeah, they are being beaten because of their skin color. And it's ignorance. You think that someone is an animal, someone is a monkey just because he or she is dark, and you are a lecturer. I expect you to know much. I expect you to be informed. For you to think that just because someone is dark, they are dirty. It's just poor mentality and stupid mentality. In subways, Koreans don't want to sit next to a black person. They don't want unless it is the last seat. They don't. Kids, like I said earlier, kids are taught to discriminate on black people. When they see a black person, they run and hide behind their parents, trying to peep to be sure to be sure that whoever they're seeing is a human being or an animal. It's just so annoying that we have information out there. Nowadays we have technology. Now we have TVs, we have smartphones. Information is all over. You can just switch your TV and watch a black person from there. You can go to Google and do research about black people if you don't know if black people do exist. And I'm surprised that in this age and era you don't know if a black person do exist out there. For you to tell your child that there are black people who exist in the society, for them to stop running away. We have mature people who stare at black people when they see them in Korea. Like, we have technology. We have some who ask if we have TVs and houses back here in Africa. They ask if we have cars. At this age and era, where you can just take your smartphone and go to Google, do your own research, whether there's technology in Africa or not. So you think that we live in the bush? We sleep on trees? Be informed. Inform your kids. Stop discrimination. It's annoying at this age.